What's up, everybody? Magic with the Racing Dudes here to talk to you about Kentucky Derby Contender T.O. Password. Some people don't like the name. I think it's a great one. This is the Japanese horse that qualified for the Kentucky Derby by way of the Japan Road to the Kentucky Derby Series. He won the Fukuryu Stakes in Japan in just his second career start. That gave him enough points to qualify him for the top spot there and earn a spot in the Kentucky Derby starting gate. Now, there are, hopefully, assuming no scratches, going to be two Kentucky Derby horses that are from Japan. Forever Young's the one that gets all the headlines. He's the undefeated five-star horse that won the Saudi Derby, won the UAE Derby. Most Americans are very familiar with that horse. You might not be familiar with T.O. Password, though. I got you covered, don't worry. Some positives to talk about with T.O. Password. Like any Japanese horse that comes over here to compete with intent, the breeding is impeccable. The horse's sire is Kopano Riki. The horse won 3 Group 1 races in Japan. 2 of them were going 9 furlongs and 1 going 8 furlongs, so some good distance pedigree there. If you trace his lineage back on the sire line from T.O. Password through Kopano Riki, go back 3 generations, you get to the legendary horse Sunday Silence, who has stamped himself all over the Japanese breeding program. The dam's name for T.O. Password is T.O. Rachel. Her great-grandsire, that's the even more legendary Mr. Prospector. And when I say even more legendary, here's a fun fact for you. Every single American Triple Crown race winner since 2012 can trace his lineage back to Mr. Prospector. That's how important he is in the breeding program for the classics. That's about all I have for the positives on this horse. Unfortunately, I'm not very high on him, and I'll tell you why here. The dam, her 3 wins, they all came sprinting. She has 3 older foals that made it to the races. All 3 of them winners, never beyond 7 furlongs. So you might have some distance pedigree on top, but the dam side is where I personally like to look for more of a pedigree base. Not seeing it there for distance for this horse. Now, he is lightly raced. He's only had 2 starts, but to his credit, those 2 starts, they did come at 9 furlongs. So the connections must have been thinking distance would be in this horse's favor. And let's be honest, I'm looking at the pedigree. They're looking at the actual horse and what he can do. So they are going to know a lot more than I am about him. However, even though he went straight from facing maidens and winning on debut to then facing winners and beating them in the Fukuryu Stakes, it was a very visually unimpressive race, I thought. He set very slow fractions throughout, much, several seconds slower than what he's going to be facing for the opening quarter, half, and 3/4 in the Kentucky Derby. He went out to the front. He won gate to wire. But, man, right there in that stretch run, he almost got caught. If the race was maybe 10 yards, 10 feet, a couple meters longer, he loses that race. He got caught right at the wire, just had enough to hold on, get his nose down first on the wire. The final time for 9 furlongs, minute 54 and 1. To put that in context, all of the Kentucky Derby prep races that were at that same distance, Florida Derby, 1 gate to wire by Fierceness, 148 and 1, 6 seconds faster. And if you remember the Florida Derby, Fierceness was not being asked for his best in the stretch. He was pretty much geared down there and won in 148 and 1. Muth won the Arkansas Derby, 149 and 2 at Oaklawn. Stronghold wins the Santa Anita Derby at 149.98. You can call that 149 and 4. I consider that 150 and flat. Still a lot faster than what T.O. Password did in the Fukuryu Stakes. Let's keep going. The Bluegrass Stakes, Sierra Leone coming from the back with the pace collapse, wins that in 150 flat. Resilience, the Wood Memorial, the slow aqueduct track. He won that race same distance, 150 and 1. The Jeff Ruby Stakes, that's on synthetic. Synthetic is known to be slower than dirt. 150 flat for 1 1/8 miles. The sloppy track at Fairgrounds for the Risen Star that Catching Freedom won, 152 flat. Still 2 1/5 seconds faster than what T.O. Password did on the front end, having everything his own way and winning by that much. So, am I saying this horse is bad overall? No. I think this horse ultimately probably going, if he comes back to America, I think his best chance of competing, 7 furlongs, mile, somewhere in that range. He doesn't have great early speed. He does have a good cruising speed, but again, the Fukuryu Stakes, which I have to base this off of, nobody pressured him, and he still almost completely collapsed at 9 furlongs. So the 1 1/4 miles, the 10 furlongs there, I don't want any part of that with T.O. Password. Connections-wise, the trainer Daisuke Takanyagi, I hope I said that right, he's not one that's come to America with a starter before. He has come here in the past. He's visited a few different trainer barns to see how they kind of run things, but he's never actually brought a horse over to compete in a major race before. So they got that going against them. I just think that this horse ultimately is, I hate to use the word filler because I think it's wonderful whenever we can get more international attention on the biggest single race of the year in America. This isn't a horse that I look at and say, he definitely has a chance to win this. Conversely, I can look at the Kentucky Derby also eligible list and I can point at a couple. This isn't always the case every year, but I can point to a couple of horses that, as I'm recording this, are on the also eligible list, I think are more deserving and have a better chance to win than this horse does. So all of that to say, I'm completely against T.O. Password for the Kentucky Derby. I don't have him to win. I don't have him in the exotics. I don't have him anywhere except kind of showing up and being there. But we'll see what happens, right? Nobody gave Rich Strike a chance. He won at 80-1. Who knows? What do you think about T.O. Password? Have you done any research on him? Are you big on Japan, possibly win the Kentucky Derby, but Forever Young, the other horse that I mentioned earlier, maybe that's the one that you think is going to win? Let me know down below in the comments section before you leave. Hit like on the video, subscribe to youtube.com/racingdudes. Make sure you visit racingdudes.com for free picks for every race, every track, every day across America. We also have the Kentucky Derby, Kentucky Oaks betting Bible. The presale is on right now. You're going to get full card coverage of both Friday Oaks Day and Saturday Derby Day at Churchill Downs. Race by race wagering recommendations from Aaron and Jared. You'll get top 4 consensus picks from all of the handicappers at racingnews.com, including myself. You get all of that included. If you want to take advantage of a really great value, I'll clue you in on something really wonderful. We're less than a month out from the Preakness Stakes now. If you get a monthly subscription, which they start at $70, and that gets you every pick, every race, every track, every day across America, that's up for a month, for 30 straight days. If you sign up for that now for $70, you're going to get the Kentucky Derby, Kentucky Oaks betting Bible, $50 value, and the Preakness Stakes betting Bible. I don't know what the price on that is. Usually it's $50. If they even sell it for a little lower, $40. So you're already saving money if you're thinking about getting both of those Bibles. If you even just want the Derby Oaks Bible, get the other picks, man. We got, say you want to play Santa Anita, you want to play Keeneland at the end, you want to play Oaklawn Park, you want to play Gulfstream, Aqueduct. We've got it all at racingnews.com. Hope to see you over there. Hope to see your comments down below. Make sure you come back here for more Kentucky Derby Contender profiles. Until next time, good luck.